In a world of glitz and glam, flashing lights and screaming fans, most people are unaware of the war that rages behind the scenes. And that war includes your favorite artist and your favorite songs. This is The Dark Side of Songwriting. Hosted by Nayim Edwards.
Welcome to The Dark Side of Songwriting. I am your host, Nayim Edwards. And of course, in great universal fashion, when I'm about to talk about something super serious, motherfuckers start doing shit that requires immediate attention. What am I talking about? This motherfucker Southside was on $1 million worth of game, right? Talked about a lot of shit. Who gives a fuck about that? I want to concentrate on one specific thing that he's been running with for years, because this is a problem that we have in this music shit. When we have somebody who actually is upper echelon, but it's bullshit, pretty much. Like, they're the only ones who is benefited. So how the fuck, if you're asking yourself, how the fuck does anything he said relate to the dark side of songwriting? So if you recall, or maybe you don't recall, a few years ago or whatever, he had issues in Florida because of his baby mama, Young Miami. And maybe we'll make our commentary on that first, and then we will come back to the real point. Because, of course, my cat will come and hear me out. But he got into it with Kodak and a bunch of people down there because he continues to say that he runs the city or whatever the fuck, or he runs the area. He was on $1 million worth of game, and we'll talk about Gilly and them tomorrow, because this is something that has to be talked about right now, today. Get out. Get out. I should have closed the fucking door. But this whole run the city shit, right? With this nigga in particular. Now, this is the same person who thought that he could tame a prostitute. Like, that right there should have let everybody already know what the fuck was going on upstairs with this man. It could be the drugs. It could be the ego. He already got a whole bunch of other shit going on as far as his life with his kids. That's not what this is about, and I don't give a fuck about that. So just keep that in mind. Like, this is the same motherfucker who talked about, who felt like he was going to war in somebody else's city over a prostitute. Whatever. Whatever, right? So he said he's still running all of that. How is this dark? What does this have to do? Because Southside doesn't run anything. Southside can barely keep 808 Mafia afloat. And not that 808 Mafia has any problems staying alive. They are hot. They are premier, upper echelon when it comes to get the fuck out. When it comes to trap music and just producing in general. What do you run? Because before I tell you exactly what made it click in my mind that you don't run a motherfucking thing, you are from Atlanta. The officials where you're from, the police ended up gunning somebody down, and they refused to press charges on the cops who killed somebody out there and just let them fucking go. But YSL is indicted over thoughts and opinions. There's no proof anything happened with them. so much shit. There was a whole incident with one of my homegirls out there, and it wasn't no little thing either, with Stone Mountain and all these fucking racists and all this shit that goes on in the city you're from. And y'all didn't do nothing about that. If you supposed to be mob boss, I run it. Why don't you run anything where you're from? Because see, what's crazy is you can't go somewhere else and run something from somewhere else when you didn't bother to take care of your home. That's anybody, anywhere, period. How do you run anything when you can't take care of Atlanta? What makes you think? And the fact that you was even fighting over Young Miami is really crazy. But you went to this mini war against Kodak Black over comments that was made by somebody who was willing to go to the highest bidder. They already knew each other. These is people from Florida. I know to get down with these people from Florida. My grandma's from Florida. Half my family from Florida. That particular area too. So it's like, do you, like, when you try to go up against somebody, especially when you from out of town, people will actually, even if they don't care, because first and foremost, going against Kodak Black, I don't give a fuck how nobody feel about this man. That man is a god to those people down there. So even the people who don't like them, you end up trying to punk somebody out from somewhere else where you live in somebody else's territory. The people who don't even like them will either come out to defend them because you try to make it look like the people from wherever they from is soft. But this ain't got nothing to do, like, that's just one of the things I had to absolutely point out, because you can't go somewhere else and run it when your home is fucked up. Y'all can't even get the actual criminals, the fucking police that was out there killing motherfuckers with impunity. You can't even get them arrested, but that's just the first thing. So, this is really what I wanted to reveal. And maybe people don't know this, but do you, as a person listening to this, do you recall that Lil Uzi Vert song, EXO Tour Life? EXO Tour Life is a song that it didn't accidentally blow up, but when it first came out, it's produced by TM88, 808 Mafia. And when it first came out, they had to release it as a single. They didn't want to release it as a single, so he threw it on SoundCloud. And it just took off to be one of the biggest songs. Like, that's the song that took Lil Uzi Vert to the goddamn Milky Way galaxy and solidified his spot in the game. Even though he was already hot, but this is the song that pushed me to the edge. All my friends are dead. That came out of the 808 Mafia camp. Southside, how are you a boss? How you 808 Mafia boss? How are you running this and running that when TM88 said he never got a fucking penny? He never got paid from EXO Tour Life. I don't want to hear about no niggas being no bosses when the people on your team is not getting paid. How are you a boss when this is an absolute undeniable hit record? Millions and millions and millions. It might be diamond by now. Shut up! What's wrong with you? But the nigga on your team with one of the biggest songs to come out of 808 Mafia did not get paid. You're the boss of what? This is the problem. And this is what we're going to talk about tomorrow in depth when we talk about Gilly and Rick Ross. But I don't want to hear no boss talk from somebody who team not eating, team not getting paid. Yes, niggas is rich, niggas is doing well, but how you not get, like, a part of being a boss is to make sure that people around you is situated, satisfied, and getting what they fucking deserve and getting what they work for. He never got no money from that. He said it himself. He never got paid from one of the biggest fucking songs of this generation's children, this generation's young people. One of the biggest songs in the past 10 years. Probably, if we looked at the numbers, the biggest song. Because Uzi still has a cult following. He never has to make no more music for the rest of his fucking life. And the motherfucker from your camp didn't get paid. And we can deal with TM88. He don't really say much. He don't really come out or whatever. But why are you running your mouth when your house is not in order? I hate that shit. Because we do a lot of that in this community. It's a lot of this, and it's not a lot of this. Writing the checks, making sure that people had a business in order before you out here running your mouth. It's one thing a motherfucker get a chip on their shoulder. And it's just like, it's hard to talk about this without leaning into what I really want to say with that Gilly and Wallow shit. So I'm going to wrap this up. But it's just like, people probably still don't even know TM88 didn't get no motherfucking money. Talked about he never received a check. You're not a boss. You are a higher ranking employee. Stop the boss. I don't want to hear boss talk from motherfuckers who can't even get the people around them situated. Because it doesn't make sense. You might get what you deserve. You might be able to come out and be on the screen and look like this and look like that, but everybody behind you is starving. And then we can even take it all the way back to how this 808 Mafia shit started here in Virginia with Lex Luger out of the area that I'm from. And y'all just took everything from him and pushed his ass to the motherfucking side. What kind of boss is he? Like, no. Niggas around you not eating. What kind of, that's not boss. Yeah. This is where we at. That shit is crazy as hell. Like, to see this nigga on podcast, like, just all... You know what? We're gonna have to stop right here. Because now it's going into the Gilly and Wallow shit, which... we're going to actually have to really talk in depth. I just wanted to come out and say that the niggas on his team don't even get paid for the records that they do. Got a big label for a motherfucking check. And meanwhile, he's talking about he the boss of Florida somewhere. South Florida. Nigga, go to Atlanta and get your people their fucking money. Give a fuck. Nigga. You talking about I run, like, I wouldn't even be coming out here. Motherfucking Metro Boomin, mama just got killed. You wouldn't even catch me talk about I run anything. Look, I don't really have time for all of this. I just want to be supportive to my brother Metro Boomin. I want to say y'all keep him in your prayers or something. See, this is a problem. You not no fucking boss. Stop this crazy shit. Niggas Lord of the Flies. Like, come on. You're not serious. You're not fucking, whatever. This has been the Dark Side of Songwriting. I hope TM88 can get his fucking money, his fucking justice, because your boss is running around this bitch fucking foolish as hell. I am your host, Nayim Elwoods, and come back tomorrow and we'll talk about Gilly and Rick Ross. And then we gotta do that Meek Mill shit. And then we'll get to the Paul McCartney shit, what I originally planned to talk about. I will holler at you.